guys, it's Jessie again with FoodNet Meals on Wheels. I'm back for another cooking demonstration, and today we're going to be making a more breakfast snack food than the savory side. So our recipe for today is pumpkin baked oatmeal. So it's a great way to incorporate another vegetable into something you'd probably eat in the morning anyways. So today we'll need raisins, quick oats, canned pumpkin, which is different than pumpkin pie in a can. The pumpkin pie in a can often has a lot of sugar and added things that you don't necessarily need, so just make sure it's 100% pumpkin. We're going to need eggs, we're going to need some brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg if you have it, some vanilla extract, baking powder, a little bit of salt, and then a milk of your choice. I'm going to use almond milk, but you can use any other kind of milk that you like. Low fat is probably the best option. So just a little bit about pumpkin. Pumpkin's a really great flavor. It kind of reminds you of fall and brings you back to pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving. But it's also great because you can buy it in a can, so it can last for years. And it's relatively inexpensive, so you can buy a can for a little over $1. And it has a really nice thick texture that makes it great for baked goods. So aside from just being convenient and cheap, pumpkin is also really rich in something called beta-carotene, which is a precursor for vitamin A. So your body takes the beta-carotene that's in pumpkin and converts it to vitamin A. And we've already talked about vitamin A a little bit, but just to recap, vitamin A is a really important antioxidant for your body. So it protects against cell damage, and it's also been linked to protection against certain cancers. So it's definitely an important part of your diet. And the nice thing about pumpkin is if you eat 1 cup, you can get 245% of the recommended intake for vitamin A. So just 1 cup of pumpkin puts you at your recommendation for the day. In addition, pumpkin also has vitamin C. And together, vitamin A and vitamin C are both really important for your immune system, which is especially important during this time. And vitamin C also keeps your skin really strong and healthy. So you really want that strong immune system, and the best way to get that is through eating your red vegetables that are really rich in vitamin A and vitamin C. And vitamin C is actually really important for increasing the number of white blood cells in your body. So white blood cells are the fighters against any pathogens that come into your body. So it's crucial to mounting a good immune response. And then in addition, we're using oats again today. So we've talked about the health benefits of oats, but together, oats and pumpkin are both pretty rich in fiber. So we know that that's important for heart health and reducing cholesterol, but it's also really important for blood sugar stability. And in addition, it keeps you energized and full for a lot longer during the day because it breaks down in your body a little bit slower, so the energy release lasts you for longer into the day. So what you're going to need, and this is a super simple recipe, it's just a 7x11 baking sheet, and we're going to put all of our dry ingredients in here. So we're first going to need our 2 cups of oats. And you can use quick oats or rolled oats, whichever you have and prefer. If you're going to use rolled oats, you're going to want to let this sit in the fridge and just kind of soak in the liquids a little bit longer because rolled oats are a little bit hardier and not as broken down. So 2 cups of our oats. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of raisins. We're going to need 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. You could also use 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup or honey, but in that case it might take a little longer to bake, so you'll just want to keep an eye on it and make sure that it's baked all the way through. And then we'll need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. If you have nutmeg or ginger, that's also a great kind of pumpkin pie seasoning. And then we'll need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And baking powder is what's going to give this baked oatmeal a little bit of a rise. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Perfect. So then we're just going to mix this together. Just make sure that all of the oats have a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of sugar in them. And the raisins might get kind of clumped together, so you'll want to break those up a little. All right. So now we're going to combine our wet ingredients. So we're going to need 2 eggs. And you can just dump all of this into a medium-sized bowl. And again, when using raw eggs, wash your hands. All right. And then 1 cup of milk. Again, low-fat milk is the best just because it has less fat with still all of the calcium and vitamin D. But you can also use any kind of dairy-free milk or soy milk or nut milk, whatever works. All right. And then the last thing before the vanilla is a cup of the canned pumpkin. So the pumpkin usually comes in either a 15-ounce can or a 30-ounce can. So a cup is about 8 ounces, so it should be roughly half the can. All right, there we go. And you can smell the pumpkin. It still smells like pumpkin pie even without the sugar, and it has a really great texture. So then break it up a little, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, so just give this a nice little whisk. And then we're just going to pour it right into our dry ingredients. And then mix these together. So then after we mix them together, we're going to let this sit in the fridge, and it'll just kind of almost marinate the same way that meat soaks in the flavor. All of the oats will really soak in that pumpkin and give it a really nice taste. And you can let it sit for as little as 10 minutes up to 8 hours or more if you'd like. And this is a great recipe to make if you are trying not to have a ton of dishes and you also only have a little bit of counter space. And it's super fast. So there it is, nice and mixed together, and then you'll want to put a cover on it and just pop it in the fridge for either 20 minutes, 10 minutes, up to 8 hours, whatever works with your schedule, and then we'll check back in and I'll show you how to bake it. See you soon. All right, so we've had the oats in the refrigerator for about 5 hours now. So I'm gonna take it out, and then you can see that it's a little bit more thick and the oats have absorbed a lot of the liquid. And now we're gonna stick it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes until it feels set. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll check back in. Alright guys, we just reached the 35 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and take out the baked oatmeal and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, and it has that nice orange color and it smells really good. So you're going to want to let it sit for at least 15 minutes before you serve it. You can serve it at room temperature or cold. And then what I like to do is add a little bit of Greek yogurt on top, either vanilla or plain, and it kind of gives it that creamy texture on top. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and of course, feedback is always appreciated. Thanks guys, have a good one.